Okay, welcome once again to a cooking show with the LNO. We'll be cooking a spicy pasta recipe, fettuccine. One of the first ingredients, you're going to cut up a white onion. Put that in first in a pan with olive oil. Let that cook for a little bit. And then you're going to add in cilantro leaves. I believe this is chipotle peppers and adobe sauce. Garlic. Feta cheese, one of my favorite cheeses, one of my weaknesses. You ever want to seduce me, charm me, bring feta cheese along for certain. Roma tomatoes also. Romas are awesome. This is the last ingredient you're going to add. I'm going to pause this and while I mess with some other stuff, and I'll get back with you. Okay, now you're going to chop up the white onion. Pick a better knife. I was going to use another knife, but I'll pick something more appropriate. Chop off the tops. Chop off the bottom, whichever is which. Kind of take off this first layer here, because you don't want that in your food. I'm going to spin it over to the sink real quick, wash it down. I don't know what chemicals were sprayed on here, but I believe it is an organic onion. If I do believe correctly in what I purchased, I usually try to get organic. I don't know. It's healthier. I like being healthy. Chop it up basically into different, as small as you can get it. I should probably do it smaller, but basically it all eventually falls apart when you're cooking it, and throw it down the gut into your mouth. So you're going to chop this puppy up, and then you're going to throw it into the olive oil. You usually let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then you will add in other stuff as you go along. You'll go next with like the cilantro. You're going to add in the stuff that basically doesn't burn as quick. Like, because if you add tomatoes in that in, it will burn quicker. I'm going to throw it in the pan here. Nice to hear that nice sizzle. And I'm going to chop up other stuff and add other stuff. You're going to stir this around for a while. Like I said, you can throw on the timer 8 minutes. This gives time for basically the onions to basically soften up, break down kind of. Just chop her up in a little pan, and there you go. I'll be back a little bit. Okay, now one of the other ingredients is going to be fettuccine. I got my water boiling. I already started that a little bit before I started messing with the frying pan, or pan, whatever you want to call it. Just the way I do things. I'm very erratic, spontaneous. I just do what I do, and it eventually all works out, hopefully. No harm, no foul. Nobody gets hurt. It's all kosher. Fettuccine is one of my favorite pastas, largely because of this dish. I ate other pastas before this dish, but not on a regular basis. This leads me towards loving fettuccine, wanting fettuccine. You're going to add this in. Check with the box instructions, of course. This one will say basically to bring it back, and then occasionally stir it for 12 minutes. So you'll do that, and then put time on the timer, do it right. And so your pasta doesn't stick together. I like to do it like a real heavy boil. Some people get mad at me for doing that, but that's what I do. Like I said, if it comes out to eat, it's good. Okay, now I'm going to be basically, I'll chop up, let's see, what should I do next? Peppers are usually a good one. You just got to be careful, because you will basically make sure you don't get this stuff in your eye or any of that stuff. If you've never gotten pepper in your eye, trust me, it's hardcore. I used to work at a decent restaurant down in the Clifton area. I think it's called the Red Rooster now, or something along that lines. Around the corner from Chipotle. It used to be called the Alpha. It was a nice, decent restaurant. Was basically de-seeding peppers one day. Got the stuff in my eye. Pretty hardcore. I've kind of experienced it a little bit since in different ways with different stuff, but not that hardcore. You gotta be careful how much you add to this. You can actually add some of the adobe sauce if you want a more of a heat to it. I will, because I'm getting used to hot stuff just from working at Jungle Gyms. I drink the chili pepper beer and I don't even feel it anymore. It's weird. Gotta stir my pasta here somewhat so it doesn't all stick together, which it wants to do. Just gotta keep everything popping and locking, basically. This is one of my favorite dishes. It used to be really messy for me. I have actually been doing it for many years, thanks to my pharmacist friend Jay, who I skateboard with occasionally. He gave me a recipe from a chef who used to run a restaurant. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do, take a little bit of cilantro. I might just throw it in. I'll throw a little bit, not all the whole thing in, but I'm getting to a point where I need some more. I'm going to eventually chop up some garlic also here. Once again, garlic is medicinal. I love this stuff. One of my favorite things on the entire planet is garlic. I will smell like garlic occasionally because I like it. It's good for you. Sulfur-containing compounds. Put a decent amount in it. I believe this is organic. I always try to get organic. Chop it up real light. I'm just basically going a little faster than I usually do because of the video, the time, and all that. Then I'll be chopping up some feta. You can do different amounts of feta. It will all melt down. I like a lot of feta, so I'm going to just basically put this whole thing in. It will eventually melt it all down. Makes it kind of a thicker sauce, which I like. I'm not the biggest fan of any type of sauces, but this one I am hooked on. This is just great. Throw this puppy in there. I'll probably do a little bit more garlic. I need to stir my little bit of pasta, and I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, my pasta dish is going along nice and cooky. This is getting ready to do the Roma tomatoes. You want to do them last because basically they don't require as much heating. You just heat them to basically very hot. You heat them too long, they will get mushy. You don't want mushy tomatoes in your pasta dish. Basically, I don't even do them that small because I actually like decent sized tomato chunks. This is actually one of the more consistent or thicker versions of your sauce you're making right now, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a sauce. I have a bizarre way of cutting things. Hopefully they eventually chop into chunks, and they will be in my recipe, basically. All get eaten. All get eaten. Bromas are great. Pain in the butt to grow. I've tried it a few times. And here we go. Now I'm going to cook this for a little bit. About, I don't know, I got 4 minutes on the clock for my pasta, so both those will be done at the same time, basically. But I'll show you the final product. I'll pan over to the pasta. It's just basically boiling away. I'm going to do a little bit of stir on there. It's really going good. I'm getting really good at this one. Doing it real quick because of the time has made it actually kind of interesting. Okay, basically you put some pasta of the fettuccine in here. I don't always use a whole bout. I end up often using this in two different meals for me. The recipe is actually designed to feed two people. Me and my pharmacist friend, when we do eat this, we eat it together. I should be using a better tool here. That would make more sense. I don't always make the brightest amount of sense in life. Put a little bit of pasta in, and you're going to throw on top of that the good old stuff. This is just great. It got a little bit overcooked, I think maybe on the bottom because I was messing with the video and other stuff, or not. You know, it really melts it down. You're going to be tossing it in there a little bit, throwing some of those tomatoes. Oh, it's just an awesome, awesome meal. One of my favorites every time. And basically, looks a little messy, but oh my gosh, it tastes so good. I'll clean it up just a little bit. And basically, this is my spicy fettuccine, tomato, white onion, chipotle peppers with adobe sauce, cilantro, garlic, feta cheese. And I'll be eating this soon. Very, very good. See ya!